Good evening, all of you. So in last class, we have studied what is the deforestation and what is the causes of deforestation, like human causes, like man-made causes and natural causes of deforestation. So now at present, we are discussing what is the consequences of deforestation. In last class, we have discussed already the two consequences of deforestation. So in that, if you'll observe, the first consequence of deforestation, can you able to say what is the first consequence, which we have already studied? Leads to the shortage of wood and other forest products. What is that? Deforestation leads to, it will leads to
shortage of food and other forest products.
shortage of wood and other forest products. That is the first thing. Next, second one which we have studied, what we have studied, Johan, it will lead to a biggest problem in the world, Earth, which most of the countries, most of the world is facing now. That is only which called as what? Because of greenhouse gases, because of understanding increasing greenhouse. Yeah, greenhouse gases, it will lead to what? Increasing greenhouse gases. Increasing greenhouse gases, it will lead to a major effect of Earth or universe, Earth or atmosphere, which is only which to called as what? Global warming. What is that?
Global warming.
Global warming. It leads to global warming. Means the average Earth atmospheric temperature will increases. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
Average Earth's atmospheric temperature will increase. So it will lead to natural disasters. Yes or no? Correct or not? Yes. So that is what the second thing which we have studied. Now let us come to totally. We have a 6 consequences of deforestation. So let us come to the third one which we are going to study in today's class. Shall we start, Johan? Are you ready? So the third one which we study as deforestation will cause soil erosion, making the soil infertile and leads to, understand, desertification. What we should call? It will causes soil erosion. What which causes? Soil erosion. Causes soil erosion. What is the meaning of soil erosion? Can you able to say? Soil erosion. Can you able to say? And because of the soil erosion, what will happen? It will make the land or earth to infertile, and it leads to what? Means the fertility of the land will disappear. Means where the plants and crops will grow, that all the sand will, that the soil will wash it away. So it will make it infertile and leads to desertification. It will leads to what? Infertile, and it will leads to, desertification. So what is the meaning of desertification? Johan, do you know or don't know? Desertification.
Becoming a desert, sir.
So let us come
like
to
a land becoming desert.
yes. If you know that, if the plants are present, if a small trees or big trees doesn't matter. If the plants are present, the roots of the trees, understanding, bind the particles of topsoil together. Is it yes or no? Is it yes or no? So if we'll take here, let us take the one plant. If we'll take one tree or one plant, if we'll take, understand. So whatever the roots are present, which is present inside the soil. So now whatever the soil particles are present here or everywhere, understanding, if we'll take here. So whatever the soil particles are present here, small stones, which is useful for fertile land, understanding, which is very good to grow the plant. So these all the particles are bind together by these roots. Is it yes or no? They are bind, understand? Bind together with the help of this plant. So now suppose if this plant, understanding, if this plant will be not there, then what will happen? If this plant will be not there, then what will happen? Who can hold the soil? Nobody can hold the fertile soil. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So the roots of trees that the particles of topsoil together. So due to this binding of soil particles, the wind and water are not able to carry away the topsoil easily. So because of this binding together, because of binding, by whom? Binding of top particles of soil, what will happen, right? If water will flow, or else if air will blow. Understand? If air or water, understand, cannot blow, cannot remove easily. Is it yes or no? Hari? Air or water cannot remove easily from the surface. Yes or no? Will you accept it, Chaitanya? Yes or no? So they cannot take the understanding. They cannot carry away the topsoil easily. So they cannot remove, or else they cannot carry. They cannot carry away the topsoil easily. So that is what we used to call as, understanding. If that the soil is easily removed, then we used to call it as what? If soil is easily removed, what we should call it? It is called as soil erosion. Do you understand, Johan? Are you there in meeting or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is only the disadvantage. If not there, understanding, if the trees are not there, then the topsoil, which is very fertile in nature, understanding, very fertile in nature. So these soil particles are not binding by the plants, understanding, tightly, so that when the air will blows, what will happen? These particles all will fly away. Or else when the water will flow, like a water stream will pass, all the particles will flow away. Have you noticed it? When the rain will falls, you may see that, understanding, water is to come, water is to take the so many kind of soil particles. Have you noticed it, Johan? Anywhere when the water will flow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is what will happen. So why it is happening? That is what you should know. Understand? When the soil, when the water will, like if water will flow on like a stream, you can see it will take easily the soil particles. It will carry the soil particles easily. So that is the reason we must have a plant so that they can hold this topsoil, a fertile soil, tightly, so that it will be useful to cultivate the plants and as well as grow the plants very healthily. So if this topsoil will be washed away, what will happen? That roots and all will come up, and that automatically the plants will die, and even the land will become infertile. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason. Understand? So this is only called as, understand, if you are cut these trees, what will happen means, understand, these trees, this prevent the soil erosion, means the washing away or carrying away the topsoil easily by water or air is only called as soil erosion. Understand? So these trees, they will prevent the soil erosion. What will happen? What will happen, Ra? These trees will
Die.
soil erosion. So the trees, whatever the trees are, even you can take even grass also, small grass, small plants also, they will prevent what? They will prevent soil erosion. Understand that, Chaitanya? They will
Yes,
prevent
sir.
soil erosion. So here what is happening exactly? That is what you should understand. Soil erosion, what will happen in the sense of, observe. So the topsoil, which is fertile in nature, if the no plants are there, this topsoil will be washed away from one place to another place, and the hard surface of the earth will be coming outside. So which is not good for understanding, cultivating any kind of crops. That is called as soil erosion. So if this soil erosion not there, understand, these trees cover, understanding, and also the softens the effect of heavy rains on the forest. So soil, due to which the topsoil does not become loose quickly. So whenever the stream is coming very fastly, so these plants will restrict the flow of water or air, so that the soil under the topsoil which is present, it cannot, understanding, it cannot become loose very quickly, because the roots are tight, holding very tightly, so that they cannot take away, understanding, this topsoil very easily. So this is what the way which the trees of the forest help prevent the soil erosion. Do you understand, Ra? Do you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no? Johan? So, what is
Yes,
happening?
sir.
When the forest trees are cut down, what is happening during this deforestation? What will happen? You tell me. So, what will happen, Ra? During
Soil deforestation.
deforestation, what we are doing? During
Sir,
deforestation,
we will cut down.
Cutting down trees.
Sir,
all
we will cut down trees, sir.
understand? All the trees are cut off. So that what will happen, Johan? Tell me.
Sir, soil erosion, shortage of food, and global warming.
No, this is soil erosion only you discuss now. What will happen? The roots,
Sir,
removing the roots. Understand?
yes,
We are
sir.
removing the full plant. So that what is happening? Even the top plant will prevent the speed of air, or else even water. All the trunk or stem, everything will resist the speed of water or air, so that it can understand. It cannot become loose. The soil cannot carry away easily. As well as roots will hold this, binding these particles together like a concrete. Imagine like how the particles are binding. So like that, so that the soil erosion cannot take place easily. So during this deforestation, understanding, there are no roots of trees which can bind the soil particles together and prevent them from being carried away by strong winds or flowing rainwater. Strong winds and flowing rainwater. If no roots are there, what will happen, Ra? If no roots are there, no roots are there, no roots, then the particles are not binding. The soil particles are not binding together. Not binding together. So that what will happen, Ra? So that what will happen, Johan? Not binding
Sir,
together.
topsoil will be eroded, sir.
They can easily, they understand, they means
They will
who?
fly away in wind, sir.
Topsoil, understanding, topsoil, they can easily carried away. They can carry away by whom? They can carry away by
Wind.
water during rain and as well as blowing air. Do you understand, Chaitanya? Blowing.
Yes, sir.
So that is what we used to call it as carrying away this topsoil is only called as soil erosion. So that understanding. So during this heavy rains or else understanding the strong winds will blow. So this soil cannot be understanding protected by these roots or else a plant. So that what will happen? Soil erosion. It causes to understanding soil erosion. So that is the reason understanding when there is no plant, this topsoil cannot bear itself, so that they become loose quickly by the force of falling rainwater or else any kind of this strong winds blowing. Rapidly it will blow, so that it will be easily moved from one place to another place. So this removal of top layer of soil during soil erosion exposes the lower and hard and rocky layer of soil. So if the top layer, soft layer, so which layer is very good for class 7th? You may have studied, Johan. Which layer is good for
Sir, topsoil.
Topsoil.
topsoil? Yes or no? So if you go to the topsoil,
Cultivation.
topsoil contains understanding manure, and it contains so many, it is very fertile, contains understanding porous medium, so that it is having enough storage of oxygen as well as enough for manure, and everything is present so that the plants can grow very easily. But if this topsoil is removed, what will happen? If this topsoil is removed
Rocky and
during soil erosion,
hard surface of the
soil erosion, then what will happen? A bottom of this topsoil, bottom of this topsoil, who will be present? Bottom of the soil called as a very hard, understanding, rocky soil will come out. Is it yes or no? So which is
yes, sir.
understanding unfertile in nature. Unfertile, so which is not good for cultivating plant, not good land. Is it yes or no? Not good for cultivating.
Cultivating.
Yes, understanding, Ram?
Sir.
Chetan? Not
Sir.
for cultivation. Okay, Johan?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, I'm Shruti, sir.
Shruti, okay, you have joined now? Okay, Shruti. So this is, so that is the third reason. Shruti, now only you joined, correct? So if there is no plants, what is the third consequences of deforestation means? The soil erosion will take place. That is what we are studying. Understand, Shruti? So if there is no soil, the top soil, which is very fertile in nature, this fertile in nature will become not unfertile. Here, not unfertile. What is that, Johan? I said unfertile, you are accepting. It is what? Infertile. What you should call? Fertile, fertile, infertile, iron. So the topsoil will be removed so that we used to get the hard and the rocky soil which is present below, so that the soil will become infertile, so which is not good for cultivating, understanding, cultivation. So this is what will happen when the plants are not there, or else when the deforestation will takes place. So the lower layer of this soil has very less humus. Do you know what is humus? You have studied in last class, last 7th you have studied.
Yes,
What is-
sir, I know, sir.
Yeah, what is the humus?
Sir, the decomposition of plants and soil in
Yeah, humus.
the
Decomposition of
Sir, organic matter
plants
of
and animals, sir.
decomposition of plant leaves, understanding, plant leaf and plant wastage, agriculture wastage, that is all, understanding, etc., we used to call it as humus. And as well as manure. Do you know manure? Animal manure, understanding. So manure. So this will be
sir.
present on this topsoil. So this
Animal
will be
waste.
removed. Understanding, soil erosion. This will be removed during soil erosion, so that land will become less fertile. What will happen? Land will become
Less fertile.
less fertile.
Less fertile.
During soil erosion. Okay? Soil erosion. During soil erosion, all the topsoil is carried away, and understand, land will become less fertile. Less fertile. Understand, Chaitanya? Johan? That is what we should remember. Some noise is coming from somebody. Please mute yourself.
Yes, sir.
What you should remember. This is the third consequence which we used to face because of what, Chaitanya? Because of what? Because of what?
because of deforestation.
Because of deforestation. Understand? So that is enough. This is the third reason. I hope you may understand what is the third reason behind deforestation. Now, let us come to the fourth reason. Understand? You may notice it from the last 3 years. Uttar Pradesh and as well as Uttarakhand, even Uttarakhand recently, 5 days before also, they are flooded with the rivers. Have you noticed it? Rivers are flooded and
Yes, sir.
washed away. Have you noticed it? And every last 3 years onwards, Kerala floods. Kerala is continuously flooding because of this rivers, heavy rains and all. Even our Tamil Nadu also during 2015, we have Chennai is completely flooded because of heavy rains. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because of flooding, what will happen, Shruti? What will happen, Chaitanya? Because of flooding, what will happen? It will lead to loss.
Sir, the plants and animals will be destroyed. The forest will be
Animals will
destroyed.
die. Means life will gone. Loss of life will be there. As well as property, buildings will lost. Understand? Agricultural lands will collapse. All the industries, everything will be damaged. So that deforestation will cause frequent flooding of rivers. Is it yes or no? Deforestation will cause frequent flooding of rivers. If we may observe majorly Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, because of understanding to construct the roads, they used to kill the acres of land. Understand? They used to kill the acres of forest land, and they used to cut the so many places. They used to damage the hilly regions and all. So that is why even though small rain is falling also, the landsliding is taking place. What is happening? Landsliding. Do you know landsliding?
Landsliding.
Landsliding.
From top, the
Yes,
water
sir.
from the top comes down.
Sir, if some mountains,
And all will fall down again. Sidewise they will be fall down. So because of to
Yes,
construct
sir.
these roads and all, because of our purpose, we people are trying to dig these mountains and all. So during this heavy rains and all, what is happening? No plants are there, and nobody is trying to restrict the flow of water. So what is happening? Heavy water is entering into the rivers, and the rivers are flooding. It is causing for what? Flooding. So if flooding will happen, what will happen? whatever the rain will fall, if the forest is there, they will absorb. They will allow the soil to absorb the water, and the trees will prevent the flow of water, so that water will enter into the river slowly, so they can prevent the flooding. So if no trees, what will happen? Much water will at a time will flow into the river, so that it will cause us of what? Frequent flooding of rivers. It will cause what? It will cause what? Fourth reason. It will
Frequent
cause,
flooding of river.
it will cause frequent. Frequent means almost regularly. Frequent flooding. Frequent flooding of rivers. Because of rivers, what will happen? Frequent flooding of rivers, what will happen, Johan? Rivers,
Flood.
flooding of rivers leading to loss of life and property. Understand? Rivers leading to loss of life. Is it yes or no? Loss of
Yes,
life.
Yes, sir.
Even Kerala last year around 600 members are died because of flooding. Is it yes or no? Loss
Yes,
of
sir.
life and property. So property loss and life also. Loss of life and loss of properties. Is it yes or no? So that is
Yes,
what
sir.
reason. All of you should note it down. So this is the fourth consequences of deforestation. So deforestation causes frequent flooding of rivers leading to loss of life and property. Now, let us discuss this more in detail. Understand? So as we know that these roots of these forest trees, which are helping absorbing some of the rainwater and make it, percolate into the ground. Is it yes or no? Percolation rate. You may study in class 7th. If your chemistry teacher is taught, percolation rate, absorbing of amount of water, milliliter per minute. That is the unit of percolation. Have you noticed it? Have you studied or not?
Sir.
No, sir.
Percolate. Okay, I will say. So what is the meaning of percolate? Percolate means in the sense of absorbing the soil, absorbing the water by the soil. As we know that our water is stored inside the ground. Is it yes or no, Johan?
Yes,
Or
sir.
no? So if you consider this is the
Yes, sir.
soil, understanding, this is the soil, understanding. So what is the meaning? We have a different kind of soil. You have studied clay soil, sandy soil, like that soils you have studied in class 7th. Do you
Yes, sir.
remember or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So now, some
Yes,
soil will
yes,
absorb
sir.
water more fastly. Some soil will absorb the water slowly. Suppose you can take clay soil cannot absorb the water fastly. Sandy soil, see, water will go very fastly. We cannot absorb if we pour the water in sand. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like that,
Yes.
understanding. So we have a different kind of soils. What is the percolation rate? We can call it as percolation rate. Percolation. If you don't know, also now I will teach you. Actually, you should study in class 7th. Percolation. Percolation. What we should call? Percolation. Percolate we can call. Percolate means absorbing the water. Percolation we can call. So what is the meaning of percolation means? Shruti, actually you don't also learn. So as we know that, suppose imagine Johan. So here imagine one tree is present. Let me imagine here the tree is present. So what will happen, Johan? It is having what? It is having a roots. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is having a roots. So the roots will go deep inside the soil. Understanding? And
Yes, sir.
let me imagine this is the plant. Understand? So now what will happen, Ra? If a rain will fall, suppose the water is coming like this. Imagine this red color is water. What is this? Water flow is coming.
Water.
So now this water will be absorbed. It will be, because as we know that earth is having a porous medium. Porous medium means which is having a small holes. Will you accept it? Earth
Yes,
is a
sir.
porous medium. Is it yes or no? I will change the color to understand better. Understand? So now imagine. So when this water is coming like this, like a stream. So this water will start entering into these pores of a soil. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it yes or no?
Yes,
And
sir.
it will be
Yes,
stored
sir.
inside the earth. That is only we used to call it as groundwater. What we should call?
Groundwater.
Water. Now, if this plant is present here, definitely it will give some sufficient time to earth to absorb the water. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Yeah, suppose you see, you will pour the water very fastly, then earth will never get sufficient time to absorb the water. Will you accept, Shruti? If there is no tree here, because tree will oppose the flow of water. Oppose the flow of water. Understand, Naveen? Chaitanya? Oppose. flow of water and it will reduce the speed. It will reduce the speed of water. Yes or no? Speed of water. So that what will happen, Johan? So that soil will get enough time to absorb the water. Is it yes or no? So soil will get enough time to what? To absorb?
Observe the water which is coming.
To absorb
Observe.
water. So now, and also you may see that plants and all, they also can absorb some water. Is it true or not? Plants also
Yes,
will,
sir.
and the soil also will absorb. Is it true or not?
Yes,
Sir.
The soil and plant is, if this plant is not there, this is called as soil. If there is no plant, what will happen? Let me take now, this is the land. So let me imagine. Now this is the soil is present. So this is the soil is present. Even though here also, what is happening? It contains pores, but water is coming very
The
fast.
speed of the water is so high.
Speed of water is very high, so that land cannot get enough sufficient time to absorb the water. Absorb
Observe the water.
absorb the water.
Absorb the water.
So that what will happen? Whatever the water is coming, it will flow on the surface of water continuously. Is it yes or no? It will flow like that, and it will entering into the where? It will entering into the rivers directly. Rivers directly. So that here soil is not getting flow of water is, the speed of water is low. Speed of water. See, small paragraph in our textbook, but why I'm explaining very elaborately, you must know that. Understanding? Speed of water is high. Understanding? So that soil cannot get enough time. Soil cannot get, what will happen, Shruti? Cannot get enough time to absorb water. Understanding? Enough
Okay.
time to
Observe the water.
understand, and also it causes for soil erosion also. Yes or no? That is what already we have studied.
Yes, sir. We ended
So
up.
now it is not enough time to absorb water, so that full water will be entering into the rivers with a high speed, so that rivers will start overflowing. So that is only we used to call it as what? That is only we used to call it as what?
Flooding.
Ah? That is only we used to call it as, understand? That is only we used to call it as flooding. Will lead to flooding. So if flooding will happen, what will happen? Now recently, take Tufan and Mia Tufan, something is coming. Yes or no? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Flooding is happening. So because of this flooding, what will happen? Loss of life and
Life and property.
property. That's all. Shruti, do you understand, Shruti? See, is it
sir.
this book is having like this diagrams? Is it
No,
a
sir.
diagrams? It's not
Nothing
there.
in the book.
But why I am teaching? Understanding. Oh, where it is missing, I think. So it is somewhere deleted everything. So speed of water, understanding, and loss of life will be happening. So that is why you should understanding. So our what will happen if you are having a tree and the trees will restrict they will control the speed of water, so that the soil will get enough time to absorb the water, and that water is also stored in the ground. So that is only what will happen, Ra. The groundwater level will increases. Yes or no? Groundwater, yes, groundwater increases, so that we used to get the enough sufficient drinking water. Yes or no? Yes or no, Johan?
Sir,
Enough drinking water.
And the groundwater, sir, the groundwater will be absorbed by the trees, sir.
Yes, actually groundwater is only we people are through the bores we are getting, and we are only drinking that water. Have you noticed it? Because even though Earth is covered 70% or 71% of Earth is 70% of Earth is covered with water, but the drinking water availability is very, very less. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
3% only, sir.
Yes. So that is why you may observe groundwater alone we people are drinking, because nowadays groundwater level is decreasing. Because why? This cutting of
Because of
that is only cause of deforestation. Yes or no?
yes,
All of
sir.
you. Now, here I used to tell you one word called as percolation. What is the word meaning? That is what you are not asking me why. I told you to learn, correct? That is what you should learn. So we have, what is the meaning of percolate? Percolation. Percolation. Remember this. That is what I will explain you. If you don't know, also no problem. Percolation. Perco. Percolate. Percolation means, understanding, absorption of water. absorption of water, understand, amount of water, absorption of amount of water by by a soil by a soil in a minute, in a minute is called percolation rate. What we should call percolation rate.
Percolation rate.
Understand?
Percolation rate.
Yeah.
Sir, milliliter per minute only, no,
Yeah,
sir?
milliliter per minute. That is what you should study in class 7th soil chapter. So the formula will come like percolation rate is equals to absorption of water in milliliter. Understanding? Amount of water. Amount of absorbed water. Absorbed. Understanding? Absorbed water. Understanding? Divided by time period. Period, which is equals to milliliter per minute. What we used to call milliliter per minute. As we know that different soils will having a different percolation rate. Is it yes or no? Different soils having a different percolation rate. So that if there is no plants, then this percolation rate will be decreases. So it will all the water will entering into the rivers. So it will causing for the floods. Understand? So different soils, we should write different soils, understand, have different percolation rate. Okay, Johan? Different percolation rate.
Yes, sir.
Understanding, Shruti? That is what the meaning of percolation. Milliliter per minute. Absorption of water, understanding, per minute. Milliliter per minute is only called as percolation rate. So this is what the fourth understanding. These are understanding consequences of water, deforestation of plants, which is causing for frequent flooding of rivers, leads to loss of life and property. Do you understand, Ra? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
What will happen, Ra? This excess water will overflow from the banks of rivers into the adjoining areas of understanding, which is near river beds, means the people who are living near the rivers or near the ocean, understanding, and it is causing for what? It is causing for the floods. So these floods damage, understanding, the crops. You may see every year, understanding, million hectares of crop in India is damaged because of heavy rains and heavy floods. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir. And also no sunlight.
Fall down. Understanding, all the standing crops will damage, houses will damage, even so many people's nearby areas, they will lose their life, they will lose their shelters, everything they will lose. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what we used to call as fourth consequence of deforestation. Now let us go for the next one. Deforestation affects the water cycle, leading to decrease in rainfall. Is it yes or no? This is the main drawback. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So, deforestation, what will happen? It will make the, how we will get
Rain
the,
stop.
because of forest only. If you are having more forest, we used to get the more rains. Is it yes or no, Shruti? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the fifth one. It will causes the, it will damage water cycle. Water cycle. So leads to what? Leads to, understanding, less rainfall. Less rainfall. So what is the meaning of water cycle? Can you able to say? Last 6th class you have studied. 6th class onwards you are studying. Water cycle.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I say?
Yeah.
Sir, in cloud.
The earth to the understanding. That is only like continuous reformation of water in the nature is
Sir,
only
from
called as
clouds,
water
rain will come, then the rain
Yes,
will fall on the
So for
river,
example,
and
what
from
is
the
the meaning
river,
of water cycle means? The water which is present in the oceans, the water present in the oceans, rivers, and all the water bodies, understanding, rivers, understanding, and also etc., and as well as from the plants. From the what? From the
plants.
plants. That
Plants.
process is called as what? From the plants. I have taught you. Through the transpiration. What we should call?
So it's transpiration.
Understand? So transpiration, and as also from the oceans and all, the continuous process called as evaporation. What we used to call?
Evaporation.
Evaporation.
So through the evaporation,
Stream
liquid water is converting into what? Gaseous water. Gaseous water. So that is only we used to call it as clouds. What we should call?
Clouds.
So that now again these clouds, when they will get the enough sufficient amount of water, again they will start into the understanding converting into the
Rainfall.
liquid raindrops. That is only we used to call it as precipitation. What do we call? Precipitation. Understand?
Precipitation.
So the process of precipitation will take place. So again, to the process of precipitation, they will condense back into the. They will condense back. What is the meaning of condensation? Condensation. Condensation means converting gas to liquid state. Converting what? Gas to
liquid state.
so that it will form in the form of rainfall. Understanding? In the form of rainfall, again it will fall. Understanding? Under the mountains and all. So that water is only will again understanding stream into the understanding rivers, ponds and all. So this is only we used to call it as water cycle. Yes or no? So the continuous circulation of water from the ground to the understanding from liquid state to the gaseous state, again from gaseous state to the liquid state. So this is only called as water cycle. So if you'll damage the plants, what will happen, Ra? If you'll damage the plants, what will happen?
No rainfall.
No rainfall.
No
There is
rain-
no
less
proper rainfall because it will damage the water cycle. No evaporation of water will take place from the oceans and all. So that what will happen? It will cause us to decrease in rainfall. So that decrease in rainfall, what will happen? It will lowers the groundwater level and could cause us the drafts. Is it yes or no? So
That's
if it decreases the if no rainfall, understanding no rainfall present, if no rainfall, if no rainfall, it leads to understanding decrease in groundwater. What will already I have taught you previous example. Yes or no? Decrease in
Yes.
ground level water. Groundwater level. So that what will happen? The amount of drinking water is amount of drinking water.
Drinking water will be
Amount of drinking water percentage will decrease so that it will leads to what? Finally it will leads to what?
flood.
It will leads to draft. So that you can see Rayalaseema. Do you know our area, Andhra in our area always draft. Even 500,000 feet we are digging. Johan, will you believe? So that it will
Yes, sir.
lead to draft. It will leads to draft. So draft means what we can call in Tamil. Telugu we can call it in Karu. Tamil what we should call?
Varachi.
Varachi. Okay. So in Telugu we can call it as Karu. Means no food, no water and all. No water, no cultivation of crops. No cultivation of crop, no food. That is only called as drought. So all the animals, plants and the humans, everybody will die if we are getting the drought. So that is why if no rainfall, if there is no plants, no proper rainfall, no proper amount of drinking water, means groundwater level will fall, so that it will lead to the droughts. Do you understanding, Pradosh? Sorry, Pradosh, Johan?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chaitanya, Shruti, do you understand? So this is the fifth effect of understanding. Fifth consequences of what is that? Deforestation. What is the fifth consequences? Damaging the water cycle. It will leads to
Less rainfall.
less rainfall.
No.
So it will decrease in rainfall, lowers the groundwater level, and it will causes draft. Understand? So this is what we should call as understand what we should call the fifth consequences of deforestation. I think meeting is going to end. Again, you really re-log in. We can little bit. I will say you more points.